Hello and welcome to Chicago Bears Huddle podcast, your UK take on all things Chicago Bears. I'm Owen James, your host, and this is your latest Bears news. We're going to talk about a UDFA who could have a massive part to play for the Bears this upcoming NFL season. Someone who was already impressed during the minicamp and rookie minicamp and the OTAs as well, and someone who could really fill a need within the Bears roster. Not a major need, hence why I don't think there's demands to go out and get anyone or trade for anyone in this position, but certainly depth need. That is what we're looking at here. And that is the UDFA Power Echols, which I think is a fabulous name. Power Echols. I mean, what a name. What a name. I mean, fancy getting the name Power. I mean, you're certainly setting your kid up there to either fail or succeed, aren't you, if you call him Power. I mean, and let's face it, let's hope that Power Echols brings the power to Illinois, brings the power to Chicago. That has got to be the hope here for Bears fans. Now, what do we know about this guy? What do we know about this lad? Well, we know that he has been given one of the most lucrative UDFA contracts that has been given out by the Bears. So we know that is the case. We know, obviously, therefore, that Ryan Poles clearly rates him very highly, as does Ben Johnson. You know, you don't give someone a big, lucrative contract for UDFA if you don't think this guy could play a part. Now, one of the things that went against Echols slightly, why he wasn't drafted, perhaps was his height, his size. He's 5'11", 237 pounds. He went to high school in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, with Advance. He then was a North Carolina Tar Heel between 2021 and 2024 and went undrafted in 2025. Was a third-team All-ACC in 2023. You know, he comes from a footballing family. His father, Brian Echols, played college football at Michigan State. So, you know, there's a bit of background there in his family. Echols, you know, obviously went to North Carolina. He played all 13 games in his freshman season, very highly rated at that point. Defensive coach at North Carolina, Gene Chizik, describing him as a tremendous leader on the sideline and a calming force. So even back in those early days, he was very, very highly rated by North Carolina. Now, if you look at him as a player, his sideline to sideline speed is very good, and we know that Dennis Allen likes his players to have speed and aggression. Certainly something that Power Echols brings. He is a dog. He is aggressive. So, you know, like I said, a Dennis Allen type player. Not only that, but, you know, he reads the game very well. He translates the plays. He is there at the breakdown. He's very, very good at watching, learning, understanding, and figuring out plays. He has good eyes, good eye performance. His college performance over his time in North Carolina was very good indeed. Now, we know that there is, like I said, a lack of depth at that position for the Chicago Bears. Now, I know there's no formal depth chart, so this is a kind of broken down depth chart. This is from ESPN. But, you know, looking at that middle linebacker, that middle linebacker position there, you've got TJ Edwards, obviously, who's just signed a new deal, who is, you know, the best middle linebacker we have, you know, at the Bears at this moment in time. You've then got Amen Ogunbongbemiga. That is so hard to say. Ogunbongbemiga. I don't know how. Whatever. Amen. You've then got Power Echols. We know that the strong side linebacker will be a fight between Ruben Hippolyte and Noah Sewell. We know that Ruben Hippolyte has been excellent in training camp, in OTAs. Absolutely phenomenal, showing great speed, great tackling ability. Yes, I know it's football in shorts, and I get that. And we know that on the other side of it, we've got, obviously on the weak side linebacker, you've got Tremaine Edmonds and Carl Jones. So look, you know, you look at that and you look behind Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, there's not a great deal of depth strength there. You know, Noah Sewell, not really done anything in the NFL. Swayze Bowman, not really done anything. Amen, not really done anything. More a special teams guy. Carl Jones, more a special teams guy. Ruben Hippolyte, a rookie who, yes, I know was drafted in the 4th round. Some people feel overdrafted. Some people now saying that it was the perfect place to draft him, having seen how he's been performing. I did hear a hilarious take on it. Someone said that he sounds like the sort of person who should be in one of those Spartans and you know, those ancient movies and the sort of things the Romans would fight. You know, oh my God, the Romans, you know, the Roman armies gathered there. and they say, oh my God, the Hippolytes are coming. You know, he sounds like that sort of person, doesn't he? But, you know, Ruben Hippolyte, you know, has been very, very good. So behind those three, perhaps, if you put in Hippolyte in there as a starting linebacker, you know, which could be a concern, you've not got anything really. Like I said, Noah Sewell, not really done anything in his time with the Bears. Carl Jones, more a special teams guy. Amen, more a special teams guy. Swayze Bozeman, not really anything else. Power Echols could be kind of the first man up, the first linebacker off the bench. He could be that strong depth piece behind those starting three. You know, he's proven in college that he is a quality player. Now, I know and I understand that there is a complete different level between college football and NFL football, and there is a step up between the two. And even then, when you step up to the NFL, you have to learn, you have to develop, and you have to continuing to develop. You know, he has got that big contract, like I said. He can make an impact, as we've seen in OTAs, in minicamp so far. And yes, I know it's football in shorts, and until you get hit in the face, you don't know how that player's going to be. He's a proven senior. He was proven at senior level at North Carolina. He's a monster, a tough tackler. And his mentality is very, very good. You know, the depth, like I said, isn't great. You know, we've already seen Daniel Hardy play some linebacker, Don Robinson play some linebacker in OTAs and minicamp. And it may be the Bears look to move Daniel Hardy, or Robinson permanently there. You know, we never know. But Echols has got a massive, massive chance, I reckon, to be one of the Bears linebackers and make the 53-man roster come the roster cut down time. You know, if we look at his stats, these are his stats from the University of North Carolina. So in his freshman season, he had 25 total tackles, which breaks down to 16 solo, 9 assisted, no passes defense, no sacks, no forced fumbles, but 1 interception for 17 yards. Then there was an uplift in his performance in 22-23. A bit of a fall off last year. And again, that's possibly some reason with the injuries that he had, why he didn't get drafted maybe and went undrafted. But in 2022, he had 103 total tackles, which breaks down to 70 solo, 33 assisted. He had 2 passes defense, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. A top year there in 22. In 2023, he had 102 total tackles, which breaks down to 60 and 42. 1 pass defense, no sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception. So you can see his tackling is tough quite clearly. 2024, 76 total tackles, which breaks down as 43 and 33. 6 passes defense, 0.5 sacks, and 1 interception. 1 interception per season in his college career. So we're looking at this guy, this Power Echols, and seeing, I think, a player who can, I think, come into that 53-man roster and be an essential depth piece for the Bears. Now, I know that being a Bears linebacker is different in expectation to being a linebacker anywhere else. You've got to be big, you've got to be tough. You're following on for some great, great names who've played the game in Chicago. You know, we've obviously not replaced Jack Sanborn directly. I'm not saying he's a great name. If anyone calls me out on that one. But what I am saying is that Power Echols could come in and be a vital part of the depth. Because it's not always about those starters. The depth has to be there. Those depth pieces that rotate in and out have to come in and be able to make plays. And I think Power Echols could be someone we're looking at going into this new season. That could be that player that comes off the bench and makes an impact for the Bears. Guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on Power Echols. Not just his name, but can he make the 53-man roster? Can he have an impact this coming season? I feel he can. Do you? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the Chicago Bears Huddle podcast. As always, if you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear some comments from some people in the city of Chicago and across the great nation of the United States of America about where you are, where you're watching this from, and your hopes for the Bears in the new upcoming seasons. We seek to build a community across the pond. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, bear down. See you later, Chicago.